If that man didn't come at me with his chainsaw, I wouldn't have pulled Mum to the ground and she wouldn't have wet herself. So it all comes back to that man with the chainsaw. Hey guys, it's Michaela. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing a little story time on my first travel experience, which was to LA for my 16th birthday. And this trip happened because Mum and I were downtown. We were walking past a travel agent and they had this deal on to go to LA and Disneyland, and I was like, jokingly like to Mum, wouldn't that be so fun? And she agreed. She was like, yeah, it actually would be pretty fun. So we booked it and we ended up going. So my birthday's in March, but we ended up going in September for September school holidays, which was really fun. It was nice weather. And to start off with, I had never been on like a long flight before, and I chose the window seat. Mum was in the middle and then there was a lady on the end, which this lady would not get up at all. I'm pretty sure I climbed over her like 3 times. Yeah, so I just kept drinking a lot of water because I was thinking I'm so dehydrated. Let's hydrate. And that made me need to wee a lot. So I had to climb over this lady. And then the man in front of us, I think he had a little bit of a tummy problem because he kept letting off some very pungent smells which would make me gag, and it wasn't very fun. It was really bad actually. Like, he was just having a great old time, and of course I was behind him, and the smells that were coming from that man, like, go get your tummy checked. And that was a flight. So we finally made it after climbing over someone to wee and gagging at someone's fun little smells. That was fun. We get to our hotel, life's great, and we're like, oh, we'll just have a little nap. Neither of us have ever experienced jet lag, and we laid down for what we thought was going to be an hour, and we woke up the next day like at like 3 p.m. So we missed a whole 2 days pretty much. So that was really fun. And but that afternoon we got ready and we went to Disneyland, which was amazing. Disneyland is so incredible. They really mean it when they say it's the happiest place on the planet. But yeah, it was really fun, really enjoyed it. And then the second day we go on this ride, the Indiana Jones ride. Now, of course, me being the little prankster I am, thought it would be very funny if Mum and I sat at the back of like the little cart, and there was 3 older women in front of us, like they were all best friends. It was so cute. And it gets to this part on the ride where like you go like this, but every time you go down the lights go off and it's pitch black. So every time we went down, I would tickle this lady's head, and every time we went back up, this poor lady was screaming her head off, thinking she had like a spider on her. She was screaming at her friends, and they were like, there's nothing there, there's nothing there. And Mum's looking at me like, what is wrong with this lady? What's happening? And then I was just laughing. I couldn't breathe. Like, I nearly wet myself. That's how much I was laughing. So it happened again, and she was screaming, and her friends were like, there is literally nothing on you. Like, they kept feeling her head. There's nothing. And Mum's just like, what's going on? And I thought it was hilarious. And we get off the ride, and we hear these ladies, and she was like, no, I'm pretty sure like a tarantula or something fell on me because I kept feeling it on my head. And Mum was like, Michaela Joy, you have to tell her. That was so mean. Like, her friends literally think she's insane. She'll probably be admitted somewhere. So Mum went over to these ladies, and I went over with my tail between my legs because she told them what I was doing, and they took it really well. They thought it was really funny, and she was glad that she wasn't going insane, but it was hilarious. Like, this lady, poor lady, I think I probably traumatized her going on rides. She probably always sits at the back now because I can't believe I did that. Why did I do that? Who knows? Who knows? But it was funny. And the next like funny story was we were getting photos with Buzz Lightyear and Woody was being like really flirty, and he wouldn't, like, we took our photos and he kept like grabbing and like being like, come back for more, and we were like, okay, so weird, but okay, someone's got a little bit of crush, like, why are you so obsessed with me? And then we get to the parade and he like points to me in the crowd and he's like waving, and I was like, yes, that was to me, people, yes, yes. Okay, I was 16, let's not judge, but it was pretty funny. And this randomly popped into my brain the other night, and I'm really confused, like, Mom, what the heck? What the heck? So we are in another country staying at this hotel, and it was like 11 p.m. and I think Mum was on the phone to Dad and the kids, and I think so. I actually don't know what she was doing, but she was on the phone, I think. Don't know. And I was like, I'm gonna go down to the spa, and she was like, okay, fine. Like, Mum, you wouldn't even let me go to a sleepover if you hadn't met the parents. And then in LA, like 11 p.m, like, sure babes, we're in another country, go do what you want. Like, what the heck happened overseas? But anyway, so I was like, oh, okay, great, I'm gonna go down to the spa. So I was in this spa with like this 35-year-old like teacher. Pretty sure he was an English teacher. And then these two, I think one was 18 and one was 21. And like, we were all just sitting in the spa at like 11 p.m. We were sitting there till like 1 a.m. as well. And they were all from Australia. It's really weird. So like, I don't know where that came into my brain, but seriously, Mum? You just let me be in a spa with 3 older men, and I couldn't even go for a sleepover. Like, they were really nice. Didn't ever see them again, but and then the next story. This is actually my favorite story of all time. Mum, please don't kill me for saying this, but it's gotta be told. Like, it wasn't funny at the time, but it's funny now. It's absolutely hilarious. Like, it cracks me up if I feel sad I think about this story. And I know, like, you get mad about it. Like, legit, she gets mad at me. Like, randomly, it'll pop into her mind and she'll be like, I can't believe you did that to me. And I'm like... So we went to Universal Studios with my auntie and her boyfriend, and he was American, so this was the first time we had ever met him, and he was such a cool dude. And still to this day, even though he hates cuddling me and he hates telling me he loves me, I know he, like, deep down, secretly, he does love me. I can't remember the theme. I don't think it was The Walking Dead, but it was like this haunted, I don't know, haunted house or something that we went through. But there was a big movie, like a movie that came out at the time, and that's the theme of the house. And I don't like spooky things at the best of times, and okay, like, we're gonna go into a spooky house, like, okay. So Mum wanted me to go first, and I said, absolutely not today, Satan. I am not going first. I am not being jumped out at. I am not falling down to the ground. Like, no, no, no. So Mum went first, I was second, my auntie and then my now uncle was at the back. Little baby. Don't worry, I'm a baby too. But we go through this, freaking terrifying. Like, we turned this first corner and someone literally ran at us. Like, absolutely not. Like, it was actually terrifying. Like, I still have bad dreams about this house. And this haunted freaking house, we get to like this part, I think we're like halfway through at this point, and I see this Chucky doll, and it wasn't actually a doll, it was a real human. So I was looking at it, and then all of a sudden it jumped out of the freaking box and bolted at me, and I was like my soul left my body. Like, I can't do those kind of things, they're too freaky. And we get to like this next room. I don't even know what the theme of this one was, but we're like walking across a bridge kind of thing, and it's like freaky and there's chains everywhere. And on the right of us, we are walking, and I'm like, okay, this one's not too bad, and I'm kind of like closing my eyes, like doing this, holding onto Mum's shoulders, and all of a sudden this man with a chainsaw runs out and starts charging at us, and I screamed that hard that I pulled Mum down to the ground. and she wet her pants. She literally wet her pants. I'm sorry, I should not be laughing, but like Mom literally wet her pants when I pulled it to the ground. I'm sorry, Mom, I know you're gonna kill me, but this is really funny. Like, it's funny now to tell. So Mom didn't tell us what had happened. Yeah, so we get out and she's like, we need to go to the bathroom, and I was like, I don't need to go, Mom, like I don't need to go to the bathroom. And she's like, we are going to the bathroom. So we get in and she tells me and my auntie that she wet herself. So everyone else through that haunted house behind us would have had to walk through her wee. Oh my gosh, I am going to hell for laughing at this, but seriously, it's so funny. So, because I was the one that did it and pulled it down to the ground, I washed her undies and dried them for her like a good daughter, like. But yeah, so that was that story. It was amazing, like. Didn't even mean to do it, but if that man didn't come at me with his chainsaw, I wouldn't have pulled Mum to the ground and she wouldn't have wet herself. So it all comes back to that man with the chainsaw, like. Oh my gosh, now I'm wrecking my makeup because I'm crying. Yeah, that is actually the highlight of the trip. Like, that was so funny. Like, Mum's still mad at me, like she still gets up at me, but oh well, we had fun. And then the next story was we went to Seaworld. We had lunch with like the killer whales. Like, you sit on it and can't even speak, Mom. But we're at this restaurant and you're like sitting on the water and they do like this whale show. It was absolutely amazing, but it did make me really sad because I don't agree with the animals like in captivity, but thankfully they're not anymore. But still, it was an incredible experience. Once in a lifetime thing. Like, it did make me really sad though. We were walking through this, I don't know, like this little enclosure, and this part actually made me cry. There was like this huge goanna or something, I don't know, it was a huge ass lizard. But the cage was that small that the lizard's body was actually like bigger than this little enclosure that it was in, and it was like scratching at the glass, and I actually cried because that made me so sad. Yeah, that made me really sad, but I am glad that like they have made their enclosures bigger now, because that was really, that poor little baby, like, wasn't a baby, seriously, that poor little thing. And then the other animal that I thought was absolutely hilarious was a walrus. Like, I have never seen one before. Like, I've seen photos of them, but when I saw it, I actually just burst out laughing because I was like, they are the funniest looking animals. Like, they're so chubby. Like, and then he's just swimming around, and then he's just like swimming on his little back, and I'm like, dude, you do you, boo. Like, you're so cute. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all like the funny stories. There is another one, but I'm not telling that because it's actually embarrassing for me, so I can't tell that one because that is embarrassing. But Mum knows, and she still is traumatized to this day what I did to her. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this travel story. It's definitely one of many, so I think I'll keep telling these stories because it's really fun to like reminisce on these trips, because at the moment when I love to travel, thanks Miss Rona, like, girl, who do you think you are? Who invited you to the party? Can please escort you out now? Over it, babes. Absolutely over it. Over it, babes. So yes. But yeah, I definitely will tell some more travel stories because they are pretty funny, and I do have some more funnier ones that are definitely very embarrassing, but it's funny now looking back at it. It wasn't funny at the time. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and thank you so much for watching.